feels like every day someone asks me about what projects and changes are in the queue for our community. Residents want to know what park improvements are coming to their neighborhoods. What about police enhancements and resiliency efforts? Many have heard we are investing more in arts and culture, and they want the details. So here's what we've been working on and what you can look forward to. First, most city major improvements are implemented through general obligation or GO bonds. This is the way we plan for and provide funding for projects and initiatives that likely couldn't be funded in a single annual budget cycle because of their cost and because they often represent long-term generational investments. Now, since I've been mayor, we have presented 2 GO bond proposals to you, one in 2018 and more recently last November. Both bonds provide for nearly 80 projects representing $600 million in investment and impacting every aspect of your quality of life. The projects that get included in our bond proposals are vetted by a committee of residents from throughout the city and ratified by our city commission even before you vote on them. Now, since voter approval, a resident oversight committee continues to oversee implementation to make sure the promise of the bonds which you pay for are fully realized. Our residents overwhelmingly endorsed both the 2018 GO bond, which focused on parks, public safety, and resiliency, and the 2022 bond, which was strictly for arts and culture. I believe they are the future of our city and will enhance our quality of life in immeasurable ways. So before we get into details, here is a pro tip. Our city created an award-winning online tool that gives you total visibility into the status of every single project in the GO bond program. You can see the projects by category. You can even see them by geography so you know what is happening in your neighborhood. Also, you can see which projects are completed and the status of those being implemented and what is coming up. It even provides construction advisories. So here is where we are in the 2018 GO bond, which received 70% voter approval and provided for substantial improvements in all areas of city life. The bond provided for substantial resources to elevate all our open spaces. It allowed us to deliver a completed 7.5-mile beach walk, renovate parks throughout the city like Polo Park, Brittany Bay Park, and break ground on extremely exciting new parks like Maurice Gibb Park in Sunset Harbor, and just recently, the long-awaited Bayshore Park project. We've created new playgrounds throughout the city. Every park and park facility will get substantial revisions and upgrades because of this bond. I believe we will have one of the most beautiful park and recreation systems in the nation. The 2018 bond also provided for 5,000 new shade trees, of which we have already delivered 1,900 throughout the community. This tree canopy is so important to our city as days only seem to get hotter every year. Our sidewalks and streets likewise are being repaired and replaced. 40 miles of streets have been replaced and 610,000 square feet of our sidewalks have been fully redone. The bond also addressed public safety concerns. A much-needed new public safety radio system so our police response time can be improved. Security cameras installed throughout the city, on the Beach Walk, on Ocean Drive, on Loomis Park, on Dade Boulevard, on 71st Street, creating more camera views. And in the next few months, we will finally be standing up our real-time crime center, which has been a major priority of this city. Along with security cameras, the bond provided for 35 license plate readers throughout the city, a tool which has been so effective at deterring and apprehending those coming here with bad intentions. New LED lighting and traffic calming have also been already delivered, with more to come. These are just a few of the 2018 projects already completed or in progress. And next year, we are slated to commence a new fire station in South Beach, which is so critical to our community, as well as a marine patrol facility, and one of my favorites, the world-class pedestrian bridge over 5th Street. For decades, it felt like you were taking your life into your hands to get across 5th Street. This beautiful Daniel Buren design bridge will connect the Baywalk, allowing us to create the same kind of safe pedestrian experience the Beach Walk now provides. The bond also funded a reimagination of Ocean Drive, which has been adopted by our commission and is being designed as I speak. It will be more pedestrian friendly and more of a promenade that is integrated into Loomis Park. The same for 41st Street, where we will be implementing many of the ideas of our 41st Street Committee, like wider sidewalks for outdoor dining and beautification elements. So much more, including a brand new community center and park in North Beach that is currently being designed. And remember, you can track all these changes via our online tool. Now let's talk about the Arts and Culture Bond, which is a real game changer for our community. This bond provides $159 million in cultural enhancements and will establish our community as one of the great art and culture destinations anywhere. You approved the bonds late last year, and within months, city staff began working on the agreements with nearly every venue and arts group involved. The bond provides for major enhancements to existing facilities, it creates new venues, and it funds initiatives that will elevate our community in untold ways. Now, the bond creates 3 entirely new cultural venues. In North Beach, the Byron Carlisle Theater will be reborn into a regional performing arts center with a black box theater, exhibition space, and movie theaters. In Collins Park, Miami New Drama will have a brand new home next to the ballet with a new auditorium and a cafe. And directly in the middle of the park next door, we will be able to finally complete the transformation of our long vacant rotunda into a beautiful exhibition and performance space. And a few hundred yards off of 4th Street, we will be creating an underwater sculpture park, the Reef Line, that will help protect our coastline and provide an eco-cultural amenity. This will be one of the great ecotourism destinations in the world. Many of our current venues are getting major enhancements. The Bass Museum will be getting an entirely new wing to host new collections. The Wolfsonian will be able to complete its hoped-for expansion that will double its size and make it into a more approachable museum. The North Beach Bandshell, the Colony Theater, the New World Symphony, and the Miami City Ballet are all getting major investments to give them more functionality, not facelifts, but major additions and improvements. Our Holocaust Memorial is getting funds that will allow it to complete its exciting major renovation that will include new exhibition space that includes holograms of survivors. At a time when hate seems to be on the march, this couldn't be more needed. And next door, the Botanical Garden will add to its functionality by blending educational and artistic elements into a resilient urban green space. Now, there are also capital initiatives worth mentioning. The GeoBond allowed us to break ground last month on our new workforce housing for ballet dancers and others who work in the cultural community. We call it Arts Force Housing. Also, the bond provides for artistic elements to be added to the playgrounds throughout the entire city, something that will make our parks even more special and unique. There's much, much more, so please check it out online. I wanted to give a special thank you to our GeoBond Oversight Committee, led by Karen Revo. Now, we asked them to volunteer so much of their personal time to provide oversight for these projects. Here are some thoughts from Karen.
These projects are funded through a bond because they will have a generational impact on our community. The 2018 bond, for instance, will dramatically elevate our open spaces. It already has if you've been on our completed beach walk. And it will change our policing with the delivery of major technology citywide, including a real-time crime center. And of course, the Arts and Culture Bond is unique and will establish our city as one of the world's great cultural destinations, which will define who we are and who wants to visit us. The reason for my committee is simple. This bond is a promise to the residents, since it is our money, and we want to make sure we fulfill that promise. I want to thank my friend, Mayor Gelber, and the Commission for their vision, and our City Manager, Alina Hudak, and Maria Hernandez, the GeoBond Director, who manages the implementation of all of these projects, which is no easy job.
Thanks, Karen. These approximate 80 projects are critical to our future. I believe they make us more than an address. They establish us as a community with an identity and a true sense of place. Remember, millions of people save for months and years to visit our city for just a few nights. So smile We get to wake up in Miami Beach every day.